I will do that. Please allow me some time. I will do that. Now, how will you do it? What is one norm? One norm is defined like this. It is the maximum of J, okay, sigma I Aij. What's the meaning of this? One norm. Any idea? Can someone explain what is the meaning of this?
Maximum of the all elements.
Maximum of the?
Yes, sir. Absolute maximum of the all elements.
Column sum. Correct. Correct. This gives the maximum of the absolute column sum. The maximum absolute column sum. What do you mean by that? It means you sum the absolute values down each column. Okay, and then take the maximum value. That is, sum the absolute values. Sum the absolute values down each column. Down each column. And then take the biggest value. Then take the biggest value. Okay, so what will be the, so if I were to consider the same previous matrix, 1, 2, minus 3, 4, you find what is the one norm? What will you do? You have to take the absolute values down each column. That means 1 plus 3. So you have to take the maximum among that. So 1 plus 3 is 4 and 2 plus 4 is 6. What's the maximum among this?
6.
6.
6. So one norm is 6. Okay. One norm is 6. Then infinity norm. Infinite norm gives the maximum absolute row sum. Gives the maximum absolute row sum. Okay, what was the previous thing? It was the maximum absolute column sum. Okay, whereas infinite norm gives the maximum absolute row sum. Maximum I sigma j mod ij. Okay, so for the matrix A, the previous one, what was the previous matrix? 1, 2, minus 3, 4. What's the infinite norm? Find what's the infinite norm?
7.
7, sir.
7. 7. It will be maximum among 1 plus 2, 3, and maximum of 3 and 7. That will be 7. Okay. So infinite norm was 7 and one norm was 6. Okay. So these are all just some way of assessing the size of a matrix. That's all. Okay. So we sum the absolute values. We sum the absolute values along each row. Along each row, and then take the biggest value. You must also parallelly note down all these points. Okay, so for your convenience today, I'm writing. Don't simply stare at the screen. Okay, and enjoy. You should note down the main points. Okay, take the biggest answer. Okay, this is what we mean by infinity norm. Right now, next is the idea of supremum and infimum. Have you heard of supremum and infimum? Supremum and infimum. Okay, I will explain that. Consider two numbers. Let A and B be two real numbers. Two real numbers such that B is greater than A. Okay, two real numbers so that B is greater than A. Right? So have you heard of closed interval? What do you mean by closed interval? Closed interval means these two limits are inclusive. Okay, say for example, they are denoted with square brackets. Okay, this is a closed interval A and B. This is defined like this: X such that X is an element of the real numbers are A less than or equal to X less than or equal to B. Now one question, what's the maximum value of X?
B.
B. Maximum value of X is equal to B. And what's the minimum value?
A.
A. Okay, that is what we may, so you can define the maximum minimum value if you have a closed interval. Okay, that means both the lower and the upper limits are included. But let us define an open interval now. Open interval is denoted with round brackets. Okay, open interval is defined like this: X such that X an element of R and A less than or equal to A less than X, A less than B. What is the maximum value of X here? Yes.
Less than B.
So less
Not,
than B, but what is the maximum value? That you cannot precisely define. Okay. Say for example, X less than 3. What's the upper limit of X? We cannot say what it is because that is not included like in the closed interval. Okay. So X less than 3 means it is implied X is less than 4 also. Right? So we can say that 3 is the least upper bound. Okay, 3 is the least upper bound because you see X is less than 3 means X will be less than 4, X will be less than infinite. Okay, so 3 is the least upper bound. Upper bound can be anything. Okay, starting from 3 onwards. Okay, so 3 is the least upper bound. So in this case, we cannot define the maximum value precisely. So we define what is called the least upper bound. Okay, here it is not possible to precisely define the maximum and minimum values of X. The maximum and minimum values of X. Only bounds can be defined. Only the upper and lower bounds. The upper and lower bounds can be defined. Okay, so any number greater than B is an upper bound of X. Okay, any number greater than B is an upper bound. Upper bound of X. Okay, but B is the least upper bound. So that least upper bound is called supremum. But B is the least upper bound. And is called the supremum of X and is called supremum. Supremum of X. So the supremum we indicated with sup, SUP. Okay, supremum of X. Similarly, any number smaller than A. Okay, so what's the lowest upper bound here? What's the lowest minimum value of A? Minimum value of X? Can you say minimum value of X here?
No, sir.
No. Okay, so any number smaller than A is a lower bound of X. So, but A is the greatest lower bound. Okay, so that is called infimum. Okay, say for example, say 2 less than, x must be less than 2. Okay, less than 2, of course it will be less than 1 also. Is it not? Less than 2 means x will be, it is evident that it will be less than 1. So you can go in the negative side. Okay, so this is the greatest upper bound. Okay, so this is the greatest lower bound. Okay, so similarly, any number smaller than A is a lower bound of X. lower bound of x, but a is the greatest lower bound and is called the infimum of x. Okay, that's the difference between, that's the meaning of supremum and infimum, right? So supremum means what? The least upper bound, and infimum means the largest or the greatest lower bound. Okay. So now we will go to signal norms. Signal norm. So first we discussed vector norm, then we discussed about matrix norm. Now we are discussing signal norm. Okay. So as I said before, norm is a measure that will tell you how big or how small a vector or a matrix is or a signal is. Okay. So signal norm is a measure that will give, say for example, our error must be small. Okay. There is no technical meaning saying that error must be small. How small it should be? It should be characterized or it should be quantified. Okay. So we define what is called a signal norm. Okay. Then we can say our signal norm should be less than 1 or signal norm should be less than 2. That has some meaning. Okay. But simply saying signal should be very small, error signal should be small, has no meaning at all. Okay. So now we will define what is a signal norm. So first one is called one norm or L norm. One norm or L1 norm. L1 norm. Okay. That is the integral of the absolute value. Integral of the absolute value. These things may seem to be boring, okay, but unless we understand this, we cannot proceed further, okay. So minimum maths only I will be explaining. I will not go into depth of the maths. So just working knowledge, what we need for the course only will be explained. Integral of the absolute value. Say for example, you have a signal u of t, okay. You have a signal u of t. So one norm is defined like this. Integral 0 to infinity norm of u of t. Okay, so this is the case of if the signal is a scalar thing. Now suppose your signal is a vector. There are u1, u2, etc. up to nu components in the case of multi-dimensional signals. Okay, say u is a vector in this case. This bar means it is a vector, okay? There are many components. u1t, u2t, etc. up to unut. There are nu number of components, okay? Transpose, right? Then what will be the one norm? One norm is defined like this. Integral 0 to infinity sigma I equals 1 to nu uit dt. Okay, so integral 0 to infinity, then you have to sum up all the components, all the absolute value of the each integral components. Okay, so u of t is a vector now. That means there are u1, u2, etc. up to unut. Okay, it's a vector now. So you have to take the absolute value of each component, sum it up and integrate it over the region 0 to infinity. Okay, let us try one example. Say for example, you are given a signal like this. X of t equals 1 by t. For t is not equal to 1 and 0 otherwise. Can you find what's the one norm? Find what's the one norm? How will you find it? How will you find the one norm? 0 to infinity u of t or x of t dt. Okay, but here the limit exists from only from 1 to infinity. So that means integral 1 to infinity x of t. What is x of t here?
1 by t.
1 by t.
1
by t dt. So what will you get?
ln t.
ln t. ln t from, and the limit is from 1 to infinity.
1
to
to
infinity.
So what's the value?
infinity minus.
Huh?
ln infinity is
Okay, infinity. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are all of you with me? I am hearing only 1 or 2 people's voice. Are all of you with me? If you have any doubt,
Yes,
you please
sir.
ask.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
please raise your doubts. Be vocal and interactive. Okay, don't sit idle. Huh? When I am writing this for your convenience, that does not mean you can simply stare. Okay, you should write along with me. Okay. Then next is 2 norm or L2 norm. This L, I have been saying about L1, L2, etc. This L stands for Lebesgue. I will not go into the mathematics of this thing. If you want to know more about that, I would advise you to go through any books on functional analysis. Okay, you can try to explore the idea behind this. Any books on functional analysis will explain what is Lebesgue space. Okay, that is why we are using the notation L. So L2 norm. So L2 norm or L2 norm is defined in this way. Root of integral 0 to infinity u of t square. Okay, like it is similar to our RMS, root mean square. Okay, root of mean square, like this. So what does this square of this norm indicate, represent? Any idea? Square of this norm, what does that indicate? It represents the total energy. Okay, because how will you find the energy if it is a resistance? What's the total energy?
I square into R.
I square into R into T.
Yes.
Okay, so there I is I RMS basically. It is RMS value. Root mean square. Okay, so there's a 1-to-1 correspondence here also. So this norm, if you take 2 norm of a signal, that will give you the energy content. Square of this norm will give you the energy content. Okay, so square of this norm, represents the total energy content. Represents the total energy content. In the signal. Okay, suppose again, if your signal is multidimensional. This bar means it is a multidimensional signal. Okay, so it is multidimensional. Then what will you do? Integral of root of 0 to infinity. How will you find the square in this case? Any idea? In this case, u of t was. In this case, u of t was a scalar. Here, u of t is a vector. How will you do that? Any idea?
Sir,
Individual.
square of the component.
Indivisible is square sum.
Sorry?
Indivisible is square sum.
Or you have to take the transpose and multiply. Okay, u transpose into u. That will give you the equivalent of ut square. Okay, because there is, see, u1, u2, blah 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 blah. Okay, you have to take the transpose, means it will be a row thing. u1, u2, blah 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 into u1, u2, blah 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 blah. So when you multiply this thing, it is like squaring that. Okay, so u transpose u of t dt. Okay, so if you take the component wise, what will you get? Root of integral 0 to infinity sigma I equals 1 to nu uit square dt. This is the ith component. Okay. Madam, ഇറങ്ങിയോ? ഞാൻ ക്ലാസ്സിലാണ്. സുഭാഷ് സാറിനെ ഏൽപ്പിച്ചേക്കാമോ? ഞാൻ ഒരു ക്ലാസ്സിലാണ് ഇപ്പം. അയ്യോ, എനിക്ക് ഞാൻ ക്ലാസ് നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക. എത്ര മണി വരെ ഉണ്ട് ഇവിടെ? 2 മണി വരെ ഉണ്ടോ? ഞാൻ ക്ലാസ് കഴിഞ്ഞ ഉടനെ വരാം കേട്ടോ. So now you can interchange this summation and this integral sign. Okay, so it will be integral sigma I equals 1 to nu integral 0 to infinity uit square dt. Okay. And what is this? What is this? This is nothing but the 2 norm. So I can write root of integral I equals 1 to nu ui square. Is it not? This is for the ith component, right? So now this will account for all the components in the signal, right? See how do I write this thing? Because this is the definition for a scalar signal. U of t, 2 norm is root integral of square root of integral 0 to infinity ut square. So instead of this thing, I am writing like this uit. Okay, so I can represent it in this way. Fine. So just please find what is the 2 norm of this thing, this signal. What's the 2 norm of the signal? 2 norm of this you find? What is that?
This 1 by two square dt.
What is the 2 norm? 2 norm of the signal, how will you define that?
0 to infinity.
Root of integral 0 to infinity
T square.
t square dt. So do that and see what you are getting. So this will become integral from 1 to infinity, right? Because it is defined only from 1 onwards. So integral 1 to infinity 1 by t square dt. Do.
That is
What's the value?
I.
What?
One.
1. Okay. So can you tell me what can you tell about the energy content of the signal? Is it bound of? Is it having finite energy or infinite energy?
Finite energy, sir.
Finite energy. Why finite energy? Because 2 norm is a finite quantity. Okay. So whenever you take the 2 norm of a signal, that will give you the energy content. Okay. So I can write as a point. I can write a signal S. A signal S has finite energy. Finite energy. If and only if the 2 norm is bounded. This means it is bounded. Okay. In this case, we got 2 norm as 1. So the signal was having the energy content is bounded, or it has got a finite energy content. Okay.
Yes.
Then
Sir,
the last thing. Yes.
sir, for the same signal, for the 1 norm, you said that square of this 1 norm is the total energy of the signal.
Not square of 1 norm, square of 2 norm. Square of 2 norm. Square of this norm represents the total energy content. Square of this 2 norm.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So now the last one is infinite norm. Okay. Infinite norm of a signal is the least upper bound. The least upper bound of its absolute value. Of its absolute value. That means the infinite norm is supremum of, what is least upper bound? I already told least upper bound is also called supremum. Where is that? Is called supremum. Okay. Least upper bound is also called supremum. Fine. Supremum of this u of t over all the time periods, for all time t are equal to 0. Okay. So this represents the maximum value that a signal can take. This represents the maximum value that a signal can take. Okay. So in the case of multidimensional signals, what will be the infinite norm? Infinite norm will be maximum of this thing. So you have to take the least upper bound for each component. And suppose you got say maximum upper bound of each component. Okay, and among that you take the maximum value. Okay, so supremum of t greater or equal to 0 ui of t. Okay, so infinite norm of a signal is its peak magnitude. Evaluated over all the components, all signal components. And all times. Find the infinite norm here. Infinite norm of the signal. What's the infinite norm? What's the infinite norm here? What's the infinite norm? Tell me.
1.
1. Infinite norm is 1. Okay. How do you get that 1?
Sir, the maximum value of xt is 1.
Right. 1. Okay. So what can you say? What the signal is magnitude bounded. Okay, because its infinite norm is less than infinity means the magnitude of signal is bounded signal. Okay, so you have to check the 2 norm to see if the energy content is, if the signal has finite energy, and you have to check for its infinity norm whether a signal is bounded in magnitude. Okay, a signal S is magnitude bounded. If and only if the infinity norm is less than infinity. Let us say one more example. Suppose you are given u of t equals 1 minus e raised to minus t. Find the infinity norm. Find the infinity norm. What it is?
Is,
1 minus e raised to minus t. What's the infinity norm?
sir, 1.
1. Okay. Because how will you find that? Supremum of t greater or equal to 0 for 1 minus e raised to minus t. Okay. And the least upper bound is 1. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So today we will stop here. We will meet again on Monday. I will upload these notes in the Moodle. So I think that there are few guys from aerospace who are auditing and crediting. I am you make sure that you guys are being added into the course list in Moodle. Okay, power electronics and control system people are there, but I couldn't find any aerospace guys enrolled into that. Okay, so you can do one thing. You just send me a mail indicating your full name, your ID, and your email ID, official email ID. Okay, I will ask people to add you also into our group. Is that fine?
Yes.
And you
Yes, sir.
also should give that credit audit form to your department. Don't forget that.
Yes, we didn't get anything. Yes.
No, you should ask your department people. Okay, it's already 2 weeks, so now it's time to be added into the cohort list of this course.
Yes.
Today I checked only MTech control system and power system people are there. You guys are not there. Okay, please ask your concerned faculty advisor to do whatever is needed. Parallelly,
Yes.
you can email me your full name, your ID, as well as your official email ID.
Yes. Sir.
Okay, yeah, we will meet again on Monday. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.